Please be careful not to fall asleep. Okay? Now we are gonna start the session 3, the temporary radiosurgery. It will be moderated by the Professor Shin Jung from Jeonnam National University and Jung-il Lee from Songyunggan University. Please.
먼저 저희들 세션 시작하기 전에 김동규 교수 명예로운 정년 퇴임을 축하드립니다. 김동규 교수님은 강의하실 때 보니까 신보성 교수님을 비롯해서 은사님들이 아주 엄했던 이야기를 하시는데 저 개인적으로 김동규 교수를 처음 뵀을 때는 아주 차가우면서 냉철한, 그래서 엄하신 분으로 그렇게 퍼스트 임프레션을 받았었는데, 모시고 일을 하면서 보니면 자상하시고 유머도 넘치시고 아이디어도 많으시고 글도 잘 쓰시고 그랬던 것 같습니다. 개인적으로는 편집위원장 하실 때 제가 좀 도와서 선생님 일하시는데 좀 일조를 했었고요. 많이 배웠습니다. 지금으로 보면 선생님 느낌은 아주 선비 같은 느낌? 그런 걸로 생각이 됩니다. 그래서 다시 한번 축하드리고요. 앞으로도 항상 건강하시고 좋아하시는 글 쓰시면서 행복하게 지내시길 바랍니다.
Okay, the next speaker is a very well-known Japanese neurosurgeon, Masaaki Yamamoto. He graduated Keio School of Medicine and was trained residency in Tokyo Women's Medical University, and now he's working in Mito Gamma House. He is so famous, particularly in the field of metastasis. So he's one of the most innovative researcher and practitioner in the field of gamma knife radiosurgery for brain metastasis, and also he contributed a lot to the neuro-oncology field. Today, he is also talking about the metastasis. Please.
Thank you, Chairman, and it's my honor to be here and present our experience in Japanese study of JLGK0901 study and its further analysis. Some 8 years ago, I am here. I was invited in the same meeting in 2011, and Dr. Eric Chan is also invited. This meeting was very, very impressive for me because 1 week later we had experienced so big earthquake followed by tsunami and nuclear plant accident. So this meeting was some combined with this event and in my brain. In any way, I met the gamma knife almost 40 years ago, 78. The first Japanese AVM patient was sent to the Stockholm and treated by gamma knife. And actually, I started the gamma knife practice in 30 years ago, 1988. And this gamma knife, the event to meet the gamma knife is the very nice experience for me. Especially I have a lot of amigo friend. You see in the left side in the Japanese gamma knife mafia. Unfortunately, one Korean and two Swedish is contaminated. And right side in the Korean and Japanese mafia. And the left side and here and under is this is the Asian gamma knife mafia. So firstly, I say that I'm sorry I can't speak Korean. I only speak. I can't speak English. I only speak Japanese. Japanese English. I'm sorry. So furthermore, I can met the some French mafia and USA mafia, some American mafia and French mafia, and also the Dr. Dong Kim. It was my happy life for these 30 years or 20 years. Now, the JLGK study was performed almost 10 years ago. This slide shows the main contributors, and this is some sensational topics. I'm sorry, but I usually use this slide. Mein Kampf of Adolf Hitler was completely buried in 1945. It's common sense. But unfortunately, Mein Kampf, for me, was born in 1996 and has continued to for next 20 years. This is the first case I treated by gamma knife in the multiple metastasis. This patient has the known lung small cancer, and the tumor brain met number was 37. Due to the technical problem, the 37 tumor were irradiated with 2 procedures with an interval of 2 weeks. The result was marvelous. 4 weeks after the treatment, almost all tumor has gone. And I experienced three such cases, and I presented 3 cases at the ISRS meeting Congress in Madrid in 1997. And also I submitted this 3 case report to Journal of Neurosurgery. But fortunately or unfortunately, the Professor Steiner, this picture took in Marseille. He became very angry. Dr. Yamamoto started the very, very dangerous treatment. So he told not to me, to my great boss, Professor Takakura. And one day, he told me, my name should not be included as a co-author in your future publication. I had been excommunicated from the neurosurgical department or neurosurgical society, I felt. But don't worry. In the later, I published in the JLGK study in Lancet Oncology. My name is here. Professor Takakura name here. He only smiled. This is another top picture. But Dr. Ponziorka kindly gave me a nickname. You are the crazy treatment, Dr. Crazy Treatment. Such a treatment is nothing but crazy. I submit my own experience with 103 patients with 10 or more mets treated by gamma knife radiosurgery to neurosurgery, the end of 2001. And next New Year, January 9th, this article was rejected. And reviewers comment, I did not receive a priority, so on and so forth. So in any way, it was rejected. The reviewer's opinion, in my opinion, this would be a dangerous manuscript to publish. The next reviewer, this paper describes a treatment that is far underlying here, far outside the standard of care. Is this Bruce? No? But I continue to this type of crazy treatment for 20 years. I started the gamma knife at the Mito Gamma House in 1998. It's just 20 years. It's divided into 4 years, almost 4 years period, like this. This slide shows the patient number, patient number and proportion of patient with 5 or METs or 10 or MET. The proportion is very, very same in every study period. And in the 20 years, the gamma knife has advanced from model B to model C, and recently perfection. Unfortunately, I have not yet the icon, but you can still, I can see here, despite of the modality advancement, the proportion is quite same. This is my treatment theory. But unfortunately, the treatment guideline tells us that 1 or 4, or sometimes 1 or 3 METs can be treated by SRS or with whole brain radiotherapy. Tumor number of 5 or more, or this is the LCCN guideline. You see more than 3 METs should be treated by whole brain radiotherapy. It was very funny. There is no evidence. This guideline is not based on the good science. There was no evidence compared to the treatment result between the gamma knife and or whole brain radiotherapy with patient with 10 or more, 5 or more METs. But guideline is written like that. So we started the JLGK0901 study, the 20 by study group including the 23 gamma knife sites in Japan. This study, in this study, it's a prospective observational study to test a non-inferiority hypothesis to comparing the mainly the tumor treatment result of tumor number 2 to 4 versus 5 to 10. So it needs 3 years for enrollment of the patient, but we got the more than 1,200 patients in the end of the February of 2012, but 12 patients were not eligible. So finally 1,194 patients were studied. These patients were divided into 3 categories according to the tumor number 1, 2 to 4, and 5 to 10. The primary endpoint is the overall survival, as shown here, clearly shown like that. The patient with tumor number 1, solitary case, is expected, longer survival can be expected. But as usual here, in the 2 and 4, and B and C, 5 and 10, the Kaplan-Meier plotting is almost same. So when we initiated this study, we decided to the non-inferior margin as 1.3. This is the upper 95% confidence interval to the hazard ratio. It is far lower than 1.3. And this slide shows the several secondary endpoint analysis like that. So only the meningeal dissemination is the shows the statistically difference, but there is no difference between the 2 groups, 2 and 4 and 5 and 10 at the cumulative incidence at the 12 months after the gamma knife radiosurgery. So these results were published in the Lancet Oncology in 2014. This was published online in March 10th. At that time, the impact factor was 25.12, but recently it increased to 36.42. Yesterday I checked with Google Scholar. The citation is just 500. So our paper is contributed to increase, may be increased to this increase of the impact factor of Lancet Oncology, I believe. So before the publication, we present you this data at the ISRS meeting in 2013 in Toronto. Immediately our presentation, the NCCN guideline changed like this: 3 or more whole brain radiotherapy or SRS. Before this year, SRS was not written here. So this is one step up for us. And 2014, next year, it's the same, but some statement was like this: use of SRS is no longer limited to patients with 3 or fewer lesions. And also, SRS has been option for limited 1 to 3 metastasis brain lesion. The panel recently added SRS as a primary treatment option for multiple, more than 3 metastasis lesions. Almost we can get a win for the NCCN guideline, but still we published in the further update data in Red Journal in 2017, because to analyze or to prove the safety, I mean the complication rate or neurocognitive function decrease, in the original articles, the observation period was not so sufficiently long. So we made a further observation by 2 years more. And I reanalyzed our data. This slide shows the maintenance of neurocognitive function measured by MMSE. As you can see here, it's a three tumor number group: 1, 2 to 3, 4 to 5. It's the very same. In another word, if the gamma knife only, almost 80% of 80%, more than 80% of patients has a maintained MMSE level. In other words, in the good neurocognitive function. It's a great change, great difference as to the whole brain radiotherapy. And how is the complication rate? It's almost same among the 3 patient tumor number groups. The tumor number increased, the increased incidence of complication rate was not shown, clearly shown. This slide shows the CTCAE grade like this. In the 3 group, the proportion is almost same. So the conclusion is written here. So even if the long-term follow-up, further follow-up, the neurocognitive function decrease and complication rate is acceptably low. This was the conclusion. And 2017, still, excuse me. Just a moment. Yes, still whole brain radiotherapy or SRS. But next year, last year, first study we have done, and I subset analysis of non-small cell lung cancer. The result was quite same. The non-inferiority margin 1.3 or less, as shown here. So the for what of the elderly patient? Apparently, the elderly patient has somewhat inferior if compared to the median survival period or cumulative survival rate. But complication rate is not so high, rather lower than younger patient group. And MMSE decrease is almost same, like that. So the gamma knife radiosurgery alone for multiple met is very safe, even if the elderly patient, 65 years old or elderly. And what about the salvage whole brain radiotherapy after the SRS? This is almost the same, I use the same database. As shown here, this is the cumulative incidence of salvage whole brain radiotherapy was necessary. You see, at the 5-year point, 10% of the patients are treated by salvage whole brain radiotherapy. But this instance is no difference between the 2 and 4 tumor group, 5 and 10 tumor group. Rather, the instance is quite slightly higher in the group of 2 and 4. I don't know the reason why. In any way, it's the 4, 5 and 10 group, tumor group is not so dangerous. What about the, we can analyze in the multivariable analysis in like this. So the primary tumor, if compared to like this, so there is no statistical significance. But if we compare in the small cell lung cancer and non-small cell lung cancer, there is big difference. It was foreseen before this analysis. So very recently, in the original paper, we analyzed the tumor control rate per patient basis. But recently, per lesion basis, it's a reanalyzation. It's accepted to Journal of Neurosurgery very recently. As shown here, it's, the result is almost the same. And the tumor number, if we compare to the tumor number 2 and 4 and versus 10 and 5 and 10 is no significant, there is no significant difference. If we compare the tumor volume, it's apparently increase in the tumor volume increased, the recurrence rate is increased. So this is recent NSCC guideline. It's a very marvelous statement for me, because as you can see here, it's the SRS preferred or whole brain radiotherapy. SRS should be preferable. And also, the tumor number description has disappeared. No limitation. This is a great change occurred in last year. And also the CNS guideline, as shown here, is there is no tumor number limitation written here, but the somewhat too small. They wrote the cumulative tumor number less than 7 milliliter. I think 10 cc can be acceptable or can be safe, or 15 cubic centimeter can be treated very safely, I think. But in any way, there is no description of tumor number limitation. This is the result. I think the end of my more than 20-year fight with most radiation oncologists. So 2 years ago, the Professor Jonathan Knisley concluded in the ISRS meeting in Montreux in 1970. You can always find someone crazier than you in the ISRS to be your teacher. I recommend the young neurosurgeon again here. So the maybe gamma knife radiosurgery in the future is very, very bright, I believe. So Professor Dong-Yu Kim and Mrs. Kim, I hope you, both of you, to the have the very happy, long life from tomorrow. And I hope we continue the same very intimate friendship for many years. Thank you very much for your kind of. I'm sorry for the Japanese.
Is there any question or comment from the audience? Professor Yamamoto, by virtue of your 20 years fighting, finally we became to be able to treat 10 metastases.
To tell the truth,
Yeah.
my fight is not still continuing.
Yeah, still is ongoing.
Because in the guideline in Japan is not changed.
So-
International guideline is almost changed.
So that is my question. So what should we do next time? What is your next
That
task
maybe
in the field of metastasis?
I hope so.
Any question? Yeah, Professor Regis.
You refer to this concept of total tumor volume as a better predictor of outcome than the volume of the largest or the number of lesions. I failed to find in the literature a study establishing a serious cutoff. Do you have any idea where is the limit in terms of risk of the total tumor volume you treat?
It's a good question. Please wait another 6 months. I just finished the statistical analysis, and the results show I use the ROC line, and this ROC line, the analysis is relatively weak, but 10.5 cc is cutoff line for me. And the tumor number, cutoff line of tumor number, can you guess? 37. And maximum tumor volume of the largest tumor is almost the same, is 10.5 cc. This is my data. I will submit this result in the journal, I hope, but I'm not sure rejected or accepted.
Okay, thank you very much. We are closing this session, and the department chairman, Professor Seung-gi Kim, will present letter of appreciation. Please come up to the stage.
Letter of appreciation. The organizing committee is pleased to present this certificate to Professor Masaaki Yamamoto in recognition of his outstanding lecture. Seung-gi Kim, Chairman.